Um, okay, so I am super excited to talk about this because I literally got back today. I got back to my house at like four ish, and I am super excited. And I am probably going to I have yet to book my Punta Cana trip, like flight tickets. Because we've been kind of waiting to see what's going on with all the COVID stuff. I was like asking Steph questions because her and her husband went to the Dominican Republic, and I was like, because I'm terrified of getting like quarantined there and having to stay there for like 10 days. But whatever, I think I'm gonna bite the bullet. And then anyways, but I want to share. I'm taking a lot of the things I learned and I put them into this kind of like big things I think that are really important to take away. So I am very excited about this presentation. If you were following along on my stories, I would say this was hands down like one of the most life-changing things I've ever done in my life. So my presentation isn't necessarily about what I did, it's about what I learned. So my presentation, sorry if the font's weird, I didn't want to change it because it was kind of cute, and I figured if I'm reading to you, then you can decipher it anyways. But my topic is but what if, because I notice a very big theme on our team that we're getting rid of the what if this year and stuff like that. And so that's the theme I want to run with. This was, if you're watching my stories, I got front row. We literally, I couldn't sleep on that day because it was 2 hours behind. So like I woke up at 4:30 on Saturday morning, which was actually 6:30 here. So I slept in, but we literally camped out for our 8:30 workout and we're first in line. Like guys, I literally I was working out here and Jennifer Jacobs, like I could touch her. Like she was right there. And that woman has the best butt and legs I've ever seen in my life. Like you can't see it in the video, like you'd think she is because she is super trainer, but I was like, holy Jesus. And so we were front and center and it was the most amazing thing in my life. Anyways, so tonight we're going to talk about that, but what if? First, I wanted to start with a few announcements because there are a ton of things going on. Angie and I are going to host a Love Your Body group. That is our February, right? We did job one is like a separate thing from our ongoing challenge group. We are doing Love Your Body. And if you notice, it's body. So the requirement for people to be in that challenge group, it's all self-love based. It's going to be affirmations. We're calling it Eat Like You Love Yourself. And then obviously workouts, but we are not following a program calendar. We are setting goals with our challengers on how many body workouts they want to accomplish that week. So all challengers in that group will be required to have body. So I'm also inviting my current challengers, but they have to sign up for body to do it. There was a whole speaker at leadership that talked about it, and she kind of talked about it's nice because now we can fit two personality types, right? There are people who are type A who are like, I need this calendar, I need to check off the calendar, I need to do this. And then there's type B who's like, I want to show up and like do whatever I want and like pick what I want. And the other thing too, I've been talking to challengers who haven't been consistent, and a lot of times when you ask them, like, so say they get through 4 days in a program and then they skip 2 days, they feel like they're behind and they just like give up because they're like, well, I'm a week behind and so I'm just going to give up, right? We've all probably had those challengers. So the nice thing about this is it's not necessarily about, okay, we're all on day one and doing day two. It's more so like, I want to work out 5 times this week, or I want to work out 3 times or whatever, but that'll start February 7th. Next up, gut health is coming out March 15th. I talked to Kat from 21 Day Fix. Like we had a actual conversation for a decent amount of time. And she said, this will be another game-changing program, right? Like 9-week Control Freak boomed Beachbody like nuts. That if you were around when we did 9-week Control Freak, we literally did like 4 or 5 rounds of challenge groups for that. Kat said this will be just as booming because it's literally focusing on 4 weeks of getting your nutrition in line and like very basic, very simple for every single human being, and 4 weeks of so the nutrition part of it is 4 weeks of gut health, but the workout part of it is 4 weeks for everybody. So she showed a sneak peek in her workout and the people said it was a freaking killer. Like I thought maybe that it wouldn't be like, because if it's for everyone, it probably won't be as crazy. But people said like, nope, you're definitely wrong. Like it's going to be kind of like bar blend where you don't really use a ton of weights, but the moves, if anyone on here's done bar blend, you know, those 2-pound weights feel like they're about 50 pounds at the end of the workout. So I'm super jacked about that. And I will be starting that. It'll be after the Success Club trip, but when I get back, I'm starting that right away. Then Fire and Flow is coming out in May. That's Jericho and Elise. Summit is in July. Guys, I cannot stress enough about you guys getting to Summit, because Summit is like a big NLC. So if you were watching my stories and you're like, dang, I want to be there, like FOMO, I want to be there, then you got to be there for Summit, because it is that on steroids and is just amazing. Then I wanted to put in here, I know a lot of you guys are looking to attend the Success Club trip in 2023. Angie and I are registering for the Surf Wave, which is the second wave. It's March 29th through the 2nd. It's a Wednesday to a Sunday. And we are staying at the Unico because they have 2 resorts you can stay at again. So it's either the Hard Rock or the Unico, but to us, the Unico looked nicer. And so that's where we're staying. And then I put this picture of me and Carl Deichler on here because I know you all love Carl. And Carl, guys, is the sweetest human. He legit is like, how many coaches do you have? And, you know, I said I have like 30 personally sponsored or whatever, but not all of them are active. And he's like, he's like, contact your, like Johnny on my corporate mentor. Like, I will get on a call. If you can get me 30 coaches on a call, I will come on a team call for you. And I was like, Carl Deichler, you're my best. He was so sweet. Oh, I didn't even care. Autumn, like literally there was a line for Carl and a line for Autumn, and I picked the line for Carl because I love that man. But anyways, now to the part you all came for. But what if? So these are the what ifs we tell ourselves, right? Like, what if I fail? What if people make fun of me? What if I look stupid? What if I do something wrong? What if I don't fit in? Guys, I'm going to be very honest with you. When I sat in that first session, I had the biggest imposter syndrome. Like, I was like, what the hell am I doing here? I don't like, guys, I'm telling you, 80% of Beachbody coaches are blonde, look like supermodels. Like, you are just like, okay, like, are you just naturally this looking? Like, I don't know. And they're all really nice people, but like, right, I had major FOMO because I'm like, I don't look like them. I don't, you know, like a lot of people I talked to, it was like Omaha, Minneapolis, Ontario, Toronto, like it was all big cities. And I'm like, okay, small, like not big city person. And so I had really bad imposter syndrome of like, do I even belong here? But then they just kept hammering home, like every human being belongs to be here. And that's why Beachbody's really been on this motto, like at the beginning of every body workout, it's everybody is a Beachbody, because everybody belongs in this place and everyone has a space in this place. And so I want you to stop thinking about these negative what ifs of like, what if I fail? Because those are just holding you back. Like they are literally stopping you and are a block in your business, because if you're concerned about all this stuff, then it's harder for you to focus on these what ifs. So what if you succeed? What if you find joy? What if you find confidence? What if people need you? And what if your family's lives are completely changed, right? I had someone, because I talked about the imposter syndrome in my thing, one of my challengers sent me a really long message that a lot of people have invited her to Beachbody, but because I look different, because I am very real, because I am not like prim and proper and right, I'm just like very me, like that's why she wanted to sign up with me, because she didn't feel like this was some like blonde supermodel who probably has a really high metabolism anyways and whatever. Okay, so I just want you to start thinking of like shift the what ifs. Like instead of saying what if this doesn't work, like what if it does? Like what if, you know, instead of saying like, well, what if I don't make it to new leader next year? But what if you do make it to new leader? Like, so I really encourage you, all of my what ifers on this call, flip the script to the positive what if, because to be honest, guys, I never would have imagined I'd be at NLC, especially this year. And one thing that was really encouraging to hear, because it's hard when you feel like you should be further than you are, right? Some of you on this call are probably like, I should be further than I am right now. But I want to give you confidence knowing there were people at NLC who were there for 6 years, 8 years in the business, right? And so my thought is, I'm 3 years into this. So if you're less than 3 years in this business, you still have plenty of time. We all have plenty of time, but we move at our own pace. And I'm going to get into that later too. So next up is I want to talk a little bit about this is the vehicle to get you where you want to go. And that is what Christina Delgado kept saying over and over is this is the vehicle to get you where you want to go. So do you want to is it about making $1 million with Beachbody? Not necessarily. I mean, I think it'd be really cool to be in the $1 Million Club and go on stage, but not saying that has to be anyone's goal. It might not be to be an elite coach. Your goals might not be to do all the high elaborate things and quit your job. It might just simply be the vehicle to pay for your groceries, to pay off your debt, to fulfill your heart because your job is kind of meh. It might be to build yourself personally, right? But the thing is this is the vehicle to get you where you want to go. And the thing is the actions of the business are really simple, but doing them over and over and over again is really hard. A lot of you maybe have read the Slight Edge, and the easy things to do are the easy things not to do. And at the end of the day, what changes, what deciphers a Emerald coach from a 1-star coach is that the 1-star coach shows up day in and day out. They do their actions even when they don't want to. And I want to let you know that because you can go 1-star a lot faster than I did. Anyone could go diamond in a month, totally doable. There was one girl there, and I'm going to get into that a little bit more. So I don't want to get ahead of myself. Okay. I'm just kidding. I'm going back because that next slide isn't what I wanted next. But the thing is right, we're told, I kid you not, guys, if I had $1 for every time we were told that all you have to do, not all, okay, that's a little dramatic, but what you have to do is the 4 vital behaviors. They did a whole presentation on the 4 vital behaviors, and every single speaker at NLC, and I heard at least 7 or 8 a session, right? So I heard 25 speakers. Every single speaker told me you have to do the 4 vital behaviors. So I'm really confused on why we think that we can get away with not doing the vital behaviors. I don't understand why we think I'm going to be a successful coach if I don't do my tracker. They don't correlate. It's not going to magically, people will not magically show up in your inbox and say, hey, I want to do this. You have to do your tracker. They told us literally over and over and over and over again. Doug Moss said it 87 times. Okay. So, and Carl Deichler, Sarah might know this. He might have talked about it at the super weekend, but he talked about the 5th vital behavior. The 5th vital behavior is then getting your coaches to do the vital behaviors, right? Because even me, I haven't been pushing people a lot, right? I'm it's okay, you did your tracker once this week, right? Okay. And so what I'm saying is if you want to be held accountable, I want you to give me permission to hold you accountable, right? If Sarah wants to message me and be I am doing my tracker 5 days a week, get on my butt, then I will. But I don't want anyone who doesn't I'm willing to push those who want to be pushed, but I don't want to push anyone out because if you're okay with being where you are, that's fine. You all have a place here. You all have a place on this team. And so but the thing is if you say, I want to make a full-time income, I want to go on the Success Club trip, I want to be a 5-star diamond coach, I want to go to NLC, then you have to push. It's not going to just come by doing the same thing you've been doing. And then I wanted to talk about the vehicle to get you where you want to be. Do all vehicles travel the same speed? No, right? Different vehicles go faster, some go slower. It is whatever, depends on where you're driving. If you're in South Dakota where you can drive 80, or if you're in Russia Soda and you can only drive 65, that's what we call Minnesota, is Russia Soda. And so it doesn't matter where you're at right now. It does not matter what your rank is. It doesn't matter how many coaches are under you. It doesn't matter how many challengers you have. We heard, so there was a varying speakers, right? We heard from one coach, guys, this was freaking nuts. She went 1-star diamond in 5 months, like she was a coach for 5 months and went 1-star diamond. Okay, you can do that. You just have to get 1 diamond under you. Okay, you can go diamond in a month. Here's the thing. She has been in this business for 1 total year, and she is a 6-star elite coach. Like 1 year. She just went all in. She said, like, if I'm going to do this, like, this is going to be my vehicle to be able to stay home with my kids, to be able to do this. And another coach we had, she was a coach for 6 years, and she grew up in Northwest Iowa. So she was on a beef farm, which was kind of fun to hear from a small town person. And when she started her coaching business, she had 4 kids under 4. And now she's a 15-star diamond coach. So I know that on our team, we have people who have small children, and it's very difficult. But my advice to you is talk to your spouse, get your spouse involved in your goals, and talk about how can you manage your time as parents to give yourself time to work on the business. Because if someone else, right, I look at all these speakers as if they can do it, I can too. This was a woman who had 4 kids under 4, and she went 15-star. And so I know we're all different. We all have different things in our lives. But what I'm essentially getting at is it doesn't really matter if you've been a coach for 10 years or if you've been a coach for 10 minutes. You get to step on the gas pedal, and you get to decide how fast or how slow you're going to go, right? Obviously, the more times you do your tracker, the more times the more invites you send, the faster you're going to get there. So if you're sending 10 invites a day and someone's sending 5 invites, in theory, right, the person sending 10 invites is going to get there twice as fast. And it's a numbers game. It is. And so let's go on and get into some of this. So I want you to think about, how many of you guys know, by a raise of hands, how many of you guys know a vision for your life and your team? How many of you guys think of a vision and a life for your team? This is where we have class participation. Okay, I love it. Okay, so I would spend some time, grab a piece of paper, make a list, talk with your significant other, right? Your vision can look like whatever you want it to be, but some things that maybe I want you to think about, because again, this is the vehicle to get there, right? We're not talking about like, okay, so this is a vision for like our goals that I have for our team, but like my vision for our team is that like you guys get to go on the Success Club trip. You guys get to go to NLC. You guys get to, go on family vacations and not worry about money. You guys get to farm, or you guys get to buy an acreage, right? A lot of us in here want to buy an acreage and get the heck out of town. Like that is my vision for our team, and to be a team of people who collaborate, who a community that is stronger than any other Beachbody team, right? A group of people who are just so interconnected. And so I want you to think like, okay, so I want to my vision is to make this much money so that I don't have to worry about our bills, or my vision is to pay off our debt. Okay, so the thing is like the vision of that gets done by your rank, by your Success Club points, by that. Like, so you have to kind of pair the two. It's not the ultimate goal, but it's that vehicle that gets you there. So my vision for our team is I want to start setting a monthly goal as a team for Success Club points. So saying, team purpose over perfection, like one number I think of is this month, I want us to hit 25 Success Club points as a team. I don't care if you contribute 1 Success Club point or 10 Success Club points, but every person on the team contributes and helps. And that's what matters, right? So I think we're going to start setting goals for monthly Success Club points. I also really think we can be an elite team. I know we can be an elite team. That's a vision I have for us, because as an elite team, it means you guys are rising up. You guys are helping others. You guys are creating this ripple effect, and you are earning incomes for your family. You are getting to go on trips. You are getting to have the success and the enjoyment out of it. I also, like, my vision is to host yearly diamond retreats. I've already been brainstorming. I am thinking maybe like a lake house in Okoboji this summer. And so that's kind of what I'm thinking. And then my vision is that 3 of you will be at NLC next year. I went to NLC by myself, and luckily I am someone who's very outgoing, right? You know me, like, so if you saw my Canadian friend Steph that I was posting about, guys, it's creepy. We're the exact same human being. And even when we were working together, our alarm went off at the same time, like super creepy. But right, we were both like awkwardly standing along the wall, and you see all these cute little groups of coaches, and you're like, oh, that's cute. And you're just standing there and you're like, okay, like this is cool. And so I walked up to her because I'm like, well, I'm not going to sit alone, like whatever. And then like we just kept building like this group of loners, like people who are there by themselves, which is great. But I want to make sure you guys have people, because I don't want you to be like the person, like, I'm going to call Angie out. Like, I don't see Angie walking up to a random stranger and being like, I'm by myself, will you be my friend? Like, I do that. Like, Angie's probably just gonna be like, no, I'm good, I'm like fine. But you don't have the same experience when you're by yourself. So I want us to send a team of people. And then it was really cool because I saw like Amy Grasso, like all these top coaches, like they went to Vegas and like they did a spa day for their team, like the day after, like they did events, they went out to dinner. Like it was essentially like a big team thing then. And so super cool, but that's my vision. And I think the biggest thing is just stopping the doubt and the fear and all that from getting in the way. So what does it take, right? So number one, I'm going to reiterate the vital behaviors. You have to be proof the product works. And all the top coaches, what they talked about was when their business was bad, it was because they were not doing the actions, right? Like we should be our best challengers, right? So they said, if they were ever in a downslide in their business, they focused on being proof the product worked, going all in a program, following nutrition, using the products, like that stuff. Because if you're doing that and getting results, people are naturally going to be like, what the heck are you doing, right? So we have to be our best challengers. Second, connect, invite, follow up. That simple. One tip I'm giving you for inviting, it might seem scary, but what I talked about is a lot of the 1-stars, they do voice message invites. So that's what I'm trying for the next few months, is that they don't send a plain text because, right? What do you see when you get a plain text? A lot of us, it's like, copy and paste message, whatever, meh. Whereas when you're saying their name, you're connecting. When they hear the tone of your voice, when they hear that you're excited about this, when, you know, they can hear the sincerity in your voice, it makes it a lot different. It also makes it easier to follow up, because then you have a reason to follow up with every single human being and say, hey, did you have a chance to listen to my voice message? I know sometimes when I send them or when I get them, you know, I open them, but it wasn't a good time to listen. Just wanted to check in with you so you don't miss out. Because that's legit. Like I open voice messages and don't have a good time to listen to them right then, and then they get lost. Whereas when I message someone and they ghost me, like I saw they saw it. So then it's awkward to be like, did you see my message? Well, yeah, I freaking saw it. Like it says seen. Excuse me. And then get people results, right? We talked about, I have a few new systems I'm rolling out that'll give you a checklist as a coach. Okay, I signed up a new challenger. Then I do this, check it off, do this, check it off, right? And go down the list. And then personal development. If you are not doing personal development, you are screwing yourself over, because personal development is hands down the most important part of this. Number 2, get over yourself. This is for my people who are standing in their own way, right? They're letting their doubt stand in the way. They're letting their fear stand in the way. They're letting all their excuses stand in the way. And you are standing in front of your business. You are putting up a brick wall, and you are the one who is hurting your business. So you have to move out of the way and let yourself do that. So get over yourself, get over the fears, get over the what ifs, get over all the crap you're telling yourself, right? Stop using negative language. All of that kind of stuff. And then you need to be inviting coaches, because at the end of the day, to get to NLC, you have to be diamond, which means you have 4 coaches on each leg. You have an emerald on each leg. I can go further into detail on a different call. And then you have one person who is diamond. So one coach that is then building their own business. So you have to invite to the coaching opportunity, which I think is the easiest thing to skip as a coach. But every month we do a coach sneak peek on the last Thursday of the month. So every month you should be checking in with every challenger and asking them if they want to show up to the coach sneak peek. It's as simple as that. Okay. Okay. I'm just looking at, I have notes on here, but also notes on my phone that I wrote on the plane. So here are my tangible tips. Like, what are you going to leave today and what can you do? Okay. So number 1, I would suggest you set a time every single day to do your tracker, right? Create a habit, just like you create a habit of working out, you create a habit of drinking your Shakeology, all of that, guys. Create a habit in it. And make sure you're showing off your habits, right? Christina Delgado, who's been a coach for 10 years, she said, when you, like, honestly, a lot of our challengers probably like, it's the same repetitive thing day in and day out, but like, that's what the new people need. That's what people need to see, that like you're sticking around, you're consistent, all of that. I would suggest, like, I do it the second I get home from work, because then I can't skip it, right? So set a time. If you need to, talk to your significant other. If you have kids, see if, hey, can you watch so-and-so for 30 minutes so I can get this done? Or I know Sarah and Amanda, they stay at school to get it done right at the end of the day, right? Like, they stay at work to make sure they get it done. But set a time, block it out. Listen, here's my next one. If you are someone who deals with negative, like you're struggling with your inner self, like you're doubting yourself, you don't think you can do it, you don't believe in yourself. One thing I suggest, and anyone should do this, listen to affirmation podcasts or audios. Guys, I shit you not, this month I have been listening to a money manifestation thing that I play when I'm on my bike. I played it when I was on the plane, and I have had more money come my way this month than I've ever had before. I know it sounds silly, but look on Spotify and look up affirmation podcasts, confidence podcasts. It might sound silly, but guys, if you tell yourself over and over again, I am confident, I am bold, I belong here, I take up space in this world, like I am successful, I can do this, your brain starts to think that. So it's as simple as looking up the affirmation audios on Spotify or wherever, and I literally listen to them like anytime I am doing another task, because it's just quiet and mindlessly there. Number 3, connect daily with your success partner. I know in my runners group, we all have success partners, and I hope you do too. Like, if you don't have one, find one on a team, find one on another team, but you need to be connecting with them daily. You should be sharing ideas. You should be encouraging each other to do your trackers. You should be doing that, right? Because that's where you're going to like build a connection and be able to like pair up and do different things, right? And push each other. And then number 4, focus on getting your best results. I talked about this a lot. And I can't remember what her name was. I don't remember her name. She said, like, when you are overwhelmed in this business, like what you need to do is just go back to getting your best results. You need to work out, drink a shake, invite, work out, drink a shake, invite, work out, drink a shake, invite, like literally every day, work out, drink a shake, invite. Like, that is the basics of it. And so if you're overwhelmed with like all the things you think you should be doing, again, like I would rather you, like most of you guys are in my challenge group, so you don't have to create challenge group content. I do it for you. Like, you literally need to focus on the 4 vital behaviors, and that's it. Like, you don't need the frou-frou stuff. You don't need any of that. Just focus on the basics. Also, make sure you're inviting to the coach sneak peek every month. They said in the panel that 98% of elite coaches have a sneak peek every single month. So if you're not inviting to a sneak peek every single month, you're not moving your business forward. Okay. And then take ownership of your business. At the end of the day, this is my business, and Jess's business is Jess's, Angie's is hers, Peyton is hers, right? Like, I can't drag anyone along. Like, you have to take ownership for it. So if you're not happy with where your business is, that is on you. One thing that was really hard at Summit was that, at NLC, is that everyone was talking about their upline system and their upline mentorship and all this. And guys, you are, believe it or not, if you're one of my coaches, I would like to think I do a good job, like being there for you and providing you with opportunities and providing you with help. Am I the best at it? Probably not. I'm trying to work on that more because I'm still figuring it out, because my 2 uplines essentially quit. Like, I don't have an upline. And so you don't understand the position you're in to have a really good upline, because all of these people are talking about like their systems, their, big group. My friend from Canada, you want to know who? I found this out. She wouldn't tell me at first who her coach was, and now I understand. Oh gosh, I'm moving things. My friend Steph, her coach, her like PS, her direct upline is Melanie Mitro. Like, her coach is Melanie Mitro, and she is a 1-star coach. So I'm telling you, you can be like, if she's just hitting 1-star coach at 3 years and I'm hitting 1-star coach at 3 years, like, you guys are in a good position. So, but you have to take ownership for it. If you succeed, if you fail, like, that's your business, right? My boutique, like, I saw it, right? I typically have orders every single day. I didn't post a dang thing when I was at NLC. Did I have a single order? No, because I didn't do the habits I need to do every single day. So you need to show up and take ownership of it. And I really suggest that you start treating it like a business. One thing, let's see here. I have my notes here and I took 87 pages of notes. But one thing that the top coaches kept saying in their panel is stop saying this is a side business. Stop calling it a side hustle. Stop calling it your small little side gig. Stop calling it your hobby. Like if it is your hobby, truly, that's fine. But I am looking at the names on this call and I don't think a single person on here is like, man, I just like show up to team call because it's like something fun to do, which I think it's fun, but like because you all desire for more, you all desire to become better coaches. And so stop treating it like just something small, because it can be something huge. It can be your full-time business. It can be anything you want it to be. This is $1 million opportunity. They said the max you can make, if you max out your income potential with Beachbody, you could make $12 million a month. That's what they said their legal like limit is, $12 million a month. They said they've never hit that. The most they've ever had was 3.5 million in 1 year. But just something funny to think about. So those are a few of my tangible tips. I have some more tips and stuff like that, but obviously I was trying to condense quite literally 10 hours of training into like kind of the things I think we needed most, because some of it too is more so about like leading the next generation. I don't think I have another slide. Nope, that's old. But do you guys have questions? I guess I wasn't in the chat. Life, yes. Team, no. I don't know what that means.
When you were talking about the vision thing.
Oh, yes. Life,
My
yes.
toddler was rambling, so I didn't feel like I should answer out loud.
That's fine. So yeah, I would look at like your life vision, because this is a way to get there, right? And so the thing is that like they said it time and time again, right? Like it's not about the $500 being submitted into your bank account. It's that what that $500 is doing for your family, right? Like it's being able to pay for your groceries, like being able to buy the healthy food. It's being able to do that. Or it's like, right, like I said, the vacations, maybe it's, you know, going from full-time to part-time. Like it's, this vehicle can be used to get that dream life of living out in the country, of paying off debt, of like anything you want, really. And so I think that's kind of what I've got. I was just looking through all I literally have pages of I guess I can stop sharing now. I have pages of the inspirational quotes from the screen. But I'm just trying to think. Oh, okay. This is what I want to end with. So this was, I think, my favorite quote, and I sent it in my group, but it was out of the 12-week year. So it's from Brian Murrin, and it is like this quote. I just want you to really listen to it. So the quote is, to become fit requires discomfort. We all know that, right? Like we had to get uncomfortable. We had to make sacrifices to get fit in our life. So to become fit requires discomfort. To earn a significant income requires discomfort. To become great at anything requires you to pay the price. So I want you to kind of think like, what is your price you're going to pay? Like, is it not letting yourself watch 7 episodes of The Amazing Race and getting your stuff done? Because I'm hooked on that in Yellowstone. Right? Like, what is your price you have to pay? Because being great is going to require you to sacrifice things. But in the long run, like I can tell you that Vegas trip alone was worth every hour I spent on my business this year. I would give all the income back if I only kept that trip, and I'd give it all back for that trip, because it was just fantastic. And if you have, I just want to talk a little bit about the trip. How it works is, if you are a 1-star, okay, so once you get to the star diamond ranks, you have to hold them for 6 weeks. Once you are a lifetime 1-star, you get invited to NLC, which is in Vegas, at the Bellagio, which is like very ritzy. And if you're 1-star, if you have leadership points like that go towards the road to elite, then if you have 25 of them, they actually pay for your hotel room when you're there. So like the only thing I paid for was my plane ticket there, which flights to Vegas are actually fairly cheap because so many human beings go to Vegas all the time. So I think I paid $300 for my plane ticket, which for me, that's pretty cheap for a plane ticket, and flying out of Sioux Falls, because Sioux Falls is tiny. So like if you had a bigger airport by you, it'd be even cheaper. Um, but otherwise the meals were covered. Like you get a bunch of free stuff, and it just was like really fun to be there and to meet super trainers, to meet Carl Deichler. I mean, you're talking with Amy Grasso, Kristen Delgado, Danny Nia, I don't know how to say her last name ever. Um, right, but these top coaches. And so all of corporate, it's really cool because you think of like Sandy on National Wake Up Call. She literally walked by and she'd always go, "Good morning, coaches," because that's what she says on the wake up call, and you're like fangirling. And all the corporate people, right? Getting to meet them, and it's just kind of cool because it just makes it so much more real, and sees the company so much more real when you see all these corporate people in person and interact with them. So I would do whatever you can to get there, because it was, I mean, just incredible. Um, Honestly, the food was like the best part. I had the best steak ever there, and I was very surprised Beachbody had steak there, but it was very delicious. That was all fixate recipes. Um, and they had like signature drinks with like Autumn's favorite alcohol drinks, and those were really good. And yeah, so it was just in general like really good. So I would put that on your vision board if you want. And if you want to go really crazy, you should put on your vision board to be a speaker at a live event, because like in My Girls, I posted this. I literally followed out Emily Lemoyne and Amber Keeper, I don't know how you say her name, were two of the speakers there, and they literally left in a limo this morning. And like it was just crazy. Like they had this giant limo that Beachbody picked them up in and dropped them off at the airport. And I was just like, oh my God. And so, but that's all I got. Yep. I don't know how to end that.